Hey YouTube, it's Brain Damage Gamer here. You notice that this is a little bit different video for me. I don't have background up. I'm not bothering to do all the usual things I do for any of these kinds of news segments or whatever. Truth be told, over the past few weeks you may notice a significant dip in content. I've seriously considered just giving up on my channel here recently and giving up on YouTube in general. It's something that I've enjoyed, and I've enjoyed putting a lot of time into. But with all the changes they've made recently, and the bugs and the problems, it's become something that has been very hard for me to do. Just because I spend hours and hours putting together footage and things that I think people would find interesting, and I can't get it out to you guys and gals. Because YouTube's killing small channels, and mine's a small channel. Well, I do want to keep filming content. It's just a matter of I don't know that it's really that effective use of my time if I'm lucky to get 50 people to see something I've spent 4 or 5 hours on, potentially, depending upon encoding or cutting or how long of the video it's going to be. It's just one of those things that it doesn't really make sense for me to spend that kind of time if I can't even get it to where people can see it. And I'm not saying I want, millions of views or anything like that. Just the normal amount I used to be able to get when I'd release content, where I get it to enough of you that, it felt like I actually got it anywhere. Heck, I was happy when I'd be, getting just a couple hundred hits. And that wasn't a big deal. I didn't mind that. But if it takes me 2 weeks to even get 50 hits on a video, something's going on. Now, as a test, you may have seen I uploaded a highlights reel of the most recent game that I played and uploaded. I did Space Hulk. I did the beta for Deathwing, which, side note, great game, fun game. Go play it if you like to play multiplayer with your friends. That's the only way I've played it. I haven't even played the single player campaign. I've only played the multiplayer. I made a highlights reel, and I purposely uploaded it with the intent of using it as a test video to prove what's going on with a subscriber bug and what it's specifically doing to my channel. Pardon the audio quality on that video. I was just using the Canon camera that I use for recording to film everything, and I didn't bother to dub in any audio. Again, it's just, with everything going on, I can't really feel bothered to put that kind of extra effort in there when, heck, this video, I'll be lucky if 50 of you see it. Here's the footage I shot for that. Alright, so here we have my video getting ready to be uploaded. We, as you can see, have the time over here. And we have that time being able to be confirmed. I have a wall clock that will also confirm this time. And it is an atomic clock, so it automatically sets. As you can see, times match. We're going to go ahead and hit publish. Now keep in mind, YouTube said that it takes 30 seconds for this to get notified into the system. So we're published, which means that my subscribers and anyone that's following my channel should be able to see this within 30 seconds. Alright, so now we have different TV that I use. This has a Roku hooked up to it. I go and I check my YouTube channel against this TV. I basically am just making sure that anytime I upload a video that the quality is good, that the audio syncs. I literally watch every time a video goes up on my channel, I come in here and watch it to make sure that it uploaded properly and looks good on a completely different source, so I can kind of verify it and check it against. So I'm about ready to open up the YouTube app. Again, have an atomic clock, automatically set. As you can see, it's moved forward a couple of minutes, same date and time. We're going to start the YouTube app. YouTube app is loaded. And here's recommended. Now keep in mind, I watch my channel every time something comes up here. Every time I upload, I watch on this
Roku. And before the bug, I used to be in this recommended list. I'd be in this recommended list every time I uploaded a video. It'd be in here. Alright, recently uploaded. Again, if I uploaded it, it should have been in here. Because this Roku, and I'm not signed into this Roku. This Roku does not know that I am the Brain Damage Gamer. See? Not signed in. It's giving me the option to sign in, but I am not actually signed in. So this Roku is just an anonymous browser of YouTube. And it should be seeing my channel as, hey, this person watches this all the time. Some of these are channels I do watch, and that's why it's recommended them. But as you can see, I am not on the list. We are well past the 30 seconds that they claim it takes. But I'm not on the list. So we'll try to force a refresh. Again, not on the list anywhere. And it used to be, before they started having the algorithm change and all the bugs, that I would be able to go hit upload, walk into this room, and push play. Seconds later. And that's no longer the case. We are now, quite a few minutes later, still not on the list. And I won't be. The only way I'll be able to find myself in this now is I'm going to have to come up here. And as you can see, I search for myself in order to manually find it. Hit the button. There I am. I don't know what that is. Oh, look. If we go right a couple, there's the video I just uploaded. As you can see, it says I uploaded it 4 minutes ago. But YouTube, in their very condescending video, said that, oh yeah, you'll totally be able to see it like 30 seconds later. That's the average delivery time. Yeah, it's a lie. And they quite honestly now have changed the algorithm so much that it doesn't even recommend videos from people that you want to watch. Because again, before the changes, I'd walk into this room, I would hit one of my channel links that was on the page and just immediately be able to go to my channel and watch the video and make sure that was a clean, good copy. See, now that I went and manually searched for it, now it's on the recommended page. Because I manually looked it up, it popped up here. If I hadn't manually looked it up, YouTube wouldn't have even pretended to send me this video. They had zero intent. And there's a possibility now, if I go down far enough, I might actually be inside of one of these lists. I should have scrolled down earlier. You would have seen I was not in the list anywhere down here. Let's see. I don't see Brain Damage Gamer. And again, I used to be on this list before they didn't make the changes that obviously, didn't happen. No. Still not seeing a channel that, for all this particular configuration knows, I watch all the time. I'm a fan of this particular channel. Oh look, back to top. Not on the list.
I mean, that footage shows what's going on with my channel. On test devices, I personally use these test devices to check and make sure that my quality is good. And it's something I've always done because, in the past, if you go back to some other videos, you'll see people saying comments, hey, what happened with the audio? It didn't sync properly, or there's a problem with the quality of the footage, or I can't do this when I view it on this. I try to work around a lot of that stuff. And a lot of my videos, I don't immediately publish. I'll put them into like a private status and then check them before I do anything else. Or if I do publish them, I publish them at times I know people are less likely to click on it, so I can hurry up and look at it myself and make sure the quality is good. And if you know anything about YouTube, you know that if you immediately hit publish the second a video is available, it uploads in this terribly low quality, and then it gets rendered more later. Well, when that happens, a lot of times people don't realize that and they start saying, hey, what's wrong with your video? The quality looks terrible. I purposely make my videos sit there for at least an hour after they're ready to publish to make sure that doesn't happen. So people don't see the video in that quality, to make sure that it stays at a quality that I want it to be at. According to YouTube and their little video they did, which, let's be perfectly honest, that was probably some of the most condescending shit I've seen in a long time. Where they basically just got there, looked at each other and said, well, I don't think it's a problem. Do you think it's a problem? No, it's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem either. Well, it must be them, because we looked at 100 channels, and if 100 channels don't have a problem out of the millions that are out there, then obviously we're fine. And my personal guess, they looked at 100 channels like what you see on my screen right now. They looked at channels like this, where they said, hey, these are channels that, have all of these hits and all of these views, and they're big channels, so obviously they're probably fine. Well, yes, they could have dips of thousands upon thousands of views, and it would look like a drop in the bucket and not even a big deal for these channels. Channels like mine or a lot of the other small channels, hundreds of views, because you've changed how your algorithm works, kills our channel, completely demolishes it. So yeah, if they did look at 100 channels, it's at best a drop in the bucket. At worst, it's literally just sticking your head in the sand and pretending the problem doesn't exist. Which is more of what my opinion is that they're really doing with this. But after they didn't have this problem, all of a sudden that's just stopped. I can't even see my own content recommended to me when I'm viewing it on an anonymous device. And that's bullcrap. And I know that there's people who have watched my channel since almost the beginning, and I appreciate your views and I'm glad that you're here, who have been telling me that they're not seeing my content recommended, that they don't see when I upload something new. So they don't watch it because they don't know it exists. And I don't know. The only thing I can think of is two things. One, I always post on Twitter and I always post on Facebook whenever I upload a video. If you follow me on my Twitter, on my Facebook, I have official ones for both. They're linked down below. Then you'll be able to tell whenever I upload stuff, because YouTube's not going to tell you, because they don't care about little channels like me. All they care about is this crap, which I love that they're trying to pretend that this is trending. Trending for them is Wired, Fox 10 Phoenix, Cracked, late night shows, morning shows, more late night shows, which I like Conan, but at the same time, I don't think that's actually trending. I think that these are just things that, miraculously, YouTube happens to get paid for to show this content a lot of times. They've gone from, Disney, Warner Brothers, Vivo, Netflix, just everything. All of these little things that they try to pretend, they recommend it, and you see I've already removed a bunch of the garbage. I remove this garbage every day, and I check YouTube every day. And I remove this garbage every day. And they keep pulling it back, saying, we totally think that you should look at this. Like, they're still recommending this Vivo garbage to me. I don't watch music videos. I'm not interested in music videos. What they keep doing is changing the subject after I've removed the channel dozens of times. So, again, stop trying to show me that garbage. I don't want it. And this is what they're about, is trying to push channels with lots of hits and lots of views already because they make more money that way. And I understand that's their business, but at the same time, all of us little channels are a large portion of the background of your business. And at this point, I'm willing to say, YouTube, if you don't get your shit together, the second a better service comes along, so many people are going to leave so quickly, you're going to implode quicker than MySpace. You will be the next MySpace if you can't get your crap together. And that's what it really boils down to, is if YouTube can't fix this constant thing that they're doing, because this isn't the first time this has happened. If they can't get their crap together on this, we're all going to leave. And it's just a matter of time waiting for a better platform, even a platform that's not as good but doesn't screw us over this way. People will leave en masse. I've enjoyed YouTube and I've enjoyed the community I've had here. I just wish that YouTube actually cared about the community that they have, because they don't. I mean, the hilarious part is if you go to look at like the subscriber bug. All right, so subscribe. Now, here's glitch. That's the closest thing I've ever seen to anything about this, where they've put it in recommended. And it's exactly what I expected. Subscriber glitch. And then look, it's all crap from like 8+ months ago. Not the current. Oh, I mean, here we are. Here's a more current one. Oh, here's a more current one. A large portion of the people upset about it are smaller channels, smaller views. And we're the ones it's killing. It's not the big channels. Yeah, PewDiePie complained about it. Yeah, some of the other channels have addressed it where they're like, oh, my metrics are off. Yes, but the problem is all of us little channels, it's murdering our channels. It's literally killing them. Where I'm lucky if I can get, even half of the hits I used to. Where if you look at, my channel now, I mean, 32 hits, 33, 59, 68. Some of this I could see as, hey, you know what, maybe people aren't as interested in my content. But when I post things that I know I have at least X number of people that like this kind of video, and I can't get that kind of response, I know something's up. And as dumb as it sounds, my wife is one of my subscribers. I imagine anyone that has a significant other, it's the same thing, that they subscribe to their channel. And, part of it's that, hey, look, I'm subscribed to you, support. But also part of it, for us, again, I test things out. So after I upload a video, she's one of the people that lets me know if it shows her a notification. She doesn't get notified when I upload content. Most of the time. Sometimes it does sneak through every once in a while, but it's typically days later that she'll get that notification. But she doesn't ordinarily get them anymore now. So my own wife doesn't get notified when I upload content. But YouTube's telling us, oh, no, it's all in your head. There's no way we've broken something. Now, the thing I want to point out is I've worked with computers. I'm a software engineer by trade. And I know for a fact that when you start talking about algorithms and programs as large as what YouTube is, especially with their search and view counts and the algorithm for recommendations and things like that, that can be anywhere from thousands to hundreds of thousands of lines of code. It can grow to, even depending upon the type of program, millions. When you're talking about that much code and you're talking about a company this big, you end up with basically things like legacy code. Code where people who wrote it don't even work for the company anymore. And people who've written it have not been properly, leaving notes behind or explaining what things do. So then the programmers that come afterwards have to basically kind of figure it out on the fly and try to get a bit of a sense of understanding as to what that person was thinking when they wrote it. Because software coding is not just cut and dried X equals Y equals Z. Sometimes people could go through different hoops, or somebody has a different method that they'd like to use. But when you're dealing with legacy code like that, code that people haven't dealt with in years or months, and then they start making adjustments to it, and they weren't even the ones that originally wrote it, it's entirely possible to, I'll just make this slight modification and completely break everything. Or, worse still, to be like, all right, you know what? I don't really understand that particular person's code. You know, it'd be easier. Let's just add more on. Let's build a different algorithm attachment. And from a programming aspect, it is easier to do that. The problem is, what does your code do to the previous code once you've added on this extra step and this extra layer that wasn't built there to begin with? Those kinds of modifications can cause massive problems with completely unrelated sections because you've added on to it. Now, I think either one of these is a plausible scenario given how large YouTube is and given how long it's been around. And I doubt very highly that they've gone to the trouble of rewriting everything, because that would not be cost effective. At best, if they'd use a modular system, then maybe there's different modules that they could adjust. But the odds are low that that's what they've done. And I think that's what we're really dealing with at this point, is either somebody's made a modification or they've made an addition to the code and they don't really know how to fix it yet, but they're still working on it. In the meantime, their PR department is literally just saying, "You're stupid, we don't know what you're talking about." Which is very disheartening for small channels, because we're the ones getting caught with their oops. Now, any other company that had had this kind of problem would have had a very simple and obvious step to do. It's called rollback. You roll back to the previous code to prevent your consumer, which that's what we are as content creators. We are consumers and we are the customer for YouTube. Any other company would have done that rollback to prevent us, the people trying to use the media, from being negatively affected. Instead, they've treated us as, well, we basically make money off of you. That's what you really exist for. So we're not going to bother to adjust it, because we're still making plenty of money, because we still have the ability to get all those wonderful recommendations from the huge channels that are still drawing us in revenue, because that's all they care about. But it's just one of those things that at this point, what's the point? And that's kind of where I've got to. I want to make content and I want to keep doing this, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure that it's a cost-effective thing for me to do, both for my time and for the effort. I'm not saying I'm just immediately dumping the channel, but I am going to, and here's the irony, given their new system, I don't upload every day. I can't. I've got a family, I have responsibilities and obligations to them, and I have, time that I'd like to spend with them. I got 4 kids and I'm happy with my 4 kids and we have fun, and I love my wife and I like spending time with her. I can't produce content like a large number of the people that are on YouTube that produce on a daily basis that are either single or part of a large team. I'm neither of those things, and I don't want to be perfectly honest. Even if I were to become a huge channel at some point in time, I don't really foresee myself being as, hey, I'll be part of a huge team, because I don't like doing that kind of stuff. I've worked in those kinds of environments in the past, and YouTube is hard, and YouTube is difficult to do as is, let alone working with a bunch of other people with different opinions as to what they want to do and what they think is great. I have no interest in that. But because of that, I can't upload 3 and 4 times a day, or even once a day. And under the new algorithm, that means that my channel is irrelevant and pointless. But like I said, I will continue to upload for the few people that I do have that do watch my content. If you have experienced this problem and you've managed to see this video, go to my Twitter, go to my Facebook. You can follow me. You can see when I do upload content. I do randomly say and do things on both of those. I primarily just notify people whenever I've uploaded content, because I'm not a big tweeter and I'm not a big Facebooker. But it's a good way to keep track of what's going on with me without having to deal with the hope that the YouTube algorithm has decided to deign you with notification of a channel that you watch. As always, I am the Brain Damaged Gamer. I would like to thank everyone for watching. I appreciate everyone who watches, and I'm grateful for the interaction I'm able to have with you guys and gals, and I wish you all the best. Thanks again for watching. Game on.